5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
Boo. Get this guy, brother. This guy stinks. I was like, get off the boo. Get. It's a very, it's a very sports heavy one today. But what? Sue me. I couldn't find anything of interest really, other than sports, which only interests me. And it's been a long day. It's been a long working day. To be fair, I think the actual shift was only. No, the shift was 12 hours, 6 to 6. But it's crazy to think that this is how much time was spent just travelling to and from. But from leaving the front door to getting back in the front door was 20 hours, I think. Because I think I left at 2 a.m. and I got back at 9 p.m. So that's 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah, 20 hours, which means 8 hours of traveling. It was just because 2 a.m. had to get a night bus to then get to this other bus, which then was like a 2-hour journey from there. And then the way back is quicker because the trains are running, but like it probably shaves off about 40 minutes from the journey, maybe. Nothing major. I didn't sleep either. But if it's that early, what's the point in sleeping? Because I'm realistically, I'm not gonna fall asleep at 8 o'clock. I'm not 9, like, or 99. Like, it's just hard to do. Like, to fall asleep at 9 is just difficult unless you've been changing your whole week in preparation to like be able to fall asleep at that time. It's just difficult. It's still bright. Your mind is still running. You're just too alive. You've got too much to live for to be sleeping at like 8 p.m. You know, so it's like realistically, I naturally like usually fall asleep at like 2. I could try and go a bit earlier. I could try and fall asleep for like 11:30, 12. But at that point, it's like you're sleeping for 2 hours, and then the feeling you're gonna feel from waking up is gonna be so bad and groggy that you might as well just stay awake and firm it. So I just didn't sleep. So I haven't slept since whenever I last slept. So I just decided I'll just stay awake, watch some YouTube videos, I think, till 2, left like that. And you feel it throughout the day. You'll get somewhere and you'll be sitting down and you'll think, oh, fuck. You know, energy drink could have been crucial. Didn't think that far ahead either. But it was alright. Made it through, you know. And here we are. And you know what it means? It just means this sleep will be even better. You'd hope. I don't genuinely feel more tired now than I usually do, but I think I probably am. I mean, I haven't slept at all today, but I have had multiple times I've pretended to sleep, sort of closed my eyes for like what felt like 30 minutes, and I was awake the whole time, I think, but it's hard to say. But no, I should have a great sleep tonight. I just Frank Lampard did that for some reason. Like I was like, no, yeah, seriously, yeah, but no, I should realistically I should sleep great, and I should, and I hope I do for your sake. That was a threat. I don't know why it was an empty threat. I'm not gonna do anything. I shouldn't have said that. Or you should not have said that. What film is that from? I should do that as a segment. What film's that from? That's actually, for me, that's actually good for quotes, because when I do quotes, it's usually much more vague stuff than that. But that one's obvious. To me, that's obvious. I should not have said that. I should not have said that. 3, 2, 1. It's Hagrid, that's his name. Hagrid from, I don't know, I'm gonna guess Chamber of Secrets, when they're asking about the chamber or something. And he's like, well, everyone knows they keep Fluffy down there because he's a big three-headed dog. Only the York puts him to sleep. And the kids are probably like, whoa. And he's like, I should not have said that. I should not have said that. And I'm basically doing a whole read through of Harry Potter right now. You're welcome. You're welcome. One annoying thing about work, though, realistically, was there's patches where you have nothing to do and patches where you do have to go do stuff. And I was hoping one of the patches just lined up with Formula 1, which was at 4 p.m. It really didn't. It was looking likely, but it lined up in the worst way possible, and I didn't get to catch a glimpse of it. But it seemed decent. It's one of these weekends where I don't really get it. It's like there's qualifying, and then there's like sprint qualifying, and then there's sprint, and then there's then there's the race, and it kind of just effectively. There's three bits of qualifying. It's like qualifying for the qualifying for the qualifying for the race. Yeah, you sure you get points for different parts throughout. But last time they done this, I kind of remember thinking certain parts felt kind of pointless and crap. I think it was at Baku, and it didn't really excite me. So here's a second chance now. And they're in Austria, which is one of my favorite tracks. As if I'm racing it. I'm literally saying that based off of playing the game, and hey, there was that good race. I remember. I think Lando, because obviously I'm a Lando guy, in the driver, not Calrissian. You knew that already. I didn't have to make that clear. But he got the podium, his first podium. I'm pretty sure Austria, right? Austria was the whole. What was it? Hamilton's got a 5 second penalty, and you're 6.4 seconds behind or something, and then you made up that like 1 second and a half in the last lap, and then gets a podium. COVID season. And then I'm pretty sure he had another good race there the next year. We did like 2 overtakes on the last lap lander. So unlike Austria, good things happened for me in Austria. I think Austria was also where a lot of my early F1 memories, when I say early I mean 2 years ago max, maybe 3, was at Austria. Albon Hamilton, Albon. This guy's such a sore loser, man. And this is back when I didn't have any faces for like the drivers, and I remember not liking Albon because for some reason I thought Albon was like this like British kind of mid driver, 29 years old, the kind of guy who's like kind of like a Bottas but maybe a little bit less successful, like been in the sport for a long time, just off of consistency but not really like a box office. I was saying this based off of just like head canon basically. And I didn't know any of the drivers' fate. I knew Hamilton, probably Norris, and then that was it. So like this was as early on where like they're going around the saying the names Albon, Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz. I'm just like, I don't know who. I don't like. Obviously, it's nice to have the whole script and the whole like inner story and the fucking soap opera of the whole F1. But there was something sort of like nice about the early on, where it's just like it's like anything when you see it for the first time, you can never relive that. And it's just like, wow, it was like, I don't read books, but what people say about reading books, you just make up how the characters look in your head, and you see live action, you're like, oh, that's not how I imagined them. And Albon was not one, for the better though, because how I was imagining Albon was an absolute villain to me. Not a fan. I pretty much just knew Hamilton realistically, and I was rooting for him. I was, yeah. I just remember like having these agendas, and some of them stayed true. The Ocon one, I'm still not an Ocon guy. I don't remember. I felt like who was even in that season who's not here now. Probably like someone in a Williams, maybe, who's now like Kubica, maybe Giovinazzi. Who else maybe would have still been there? Don't know. People are like, but anyway, even though I missed qualifying today, I recorded it so I can go rewatch because it seemed pretty decent. Perez once again doesn't make it out of Q2. And it's like, how many times are we going to give different excuses? The weather, the wrong strategy, the lap times, or this or that. It's like, mate, come on. You're in Red Bull. George also never great qualifying. George has, like, he's back in my good books, but he's been feeling himself a lot recently. And you could say he's been jinxing it, or it's just coincided with bad form. But he's been saying stuff like some drivers got no spatial awareness. Like in the lie detector, they asked, do you think you're a better driver, or do you think you're faster than Hamilton? And he said, now, yes. Like, not across his career, but right now, where he is in his career and where I am in my career, I am faster. And it's like, since then, like, I think he said that probably while having like a 4-1 or 4-2 lead in qualifying and beating him the season prior. But now it's like Hamilton's pulled it back to 5-4 on qualifying, and he's kind of been beating you every race, and he's beating you in the standings, and you're falling off a cliff, and your spatial awareness looks like dog shit. So it's George Russell's in some bad form, and surprise, Verstappen's fucking on pole, because he's not fucking on pole. That'd be just explicit content. We don't do that, but he's on pole again because of course he is. And it's like, look, he's 26 millionths of a fucking microsecond behind him, but who cares? Might as well be 10 hours at this point, because he's just gonna raw dog. But here's the thing about this weekend: there's so many chances for error. Like he's gonna have to go into like whatever quality thing they got next, and then go into the sprint next, and then go into the race. And so there's so many. If he manages to like win all of them, then there's cheat codes. The AI difficulty is down to those. He's changed the slide. He's done something to the settings. We need to. This is a full blown conspiracy because that's just a joke, mate. But you know, I do see a world, but I block it out and I try and see a world where that just doesn't happen. At least one of these 3 things from now to Sunday, between the next 2 days, can't be won by Verstappen, and Leclerc's in a pretty good spot. It seems like the Ferraris have pace. They're P2 and 3. We're unsure. Lando like outperforms the car so much, and you can see that in qualifying, but you can only outperform a car so much when it comes to a race, and you kind of see its true pace. Because he's been P3 before, and I know got the upgrades and side pods different now, but it's like Piastri was like 14th maybe, or maybe a bit higher. I think 14th, and Norris is like 4th, like 10 places ahead. And it's like, you know, you'd see Ricciardo do stuff like that sometimes, and you get absolutely shat on. Piastri does it, and obviously as well, Piastri's obviously a great driver. It's his first season, so obviously he gets benefit of the doubt. But it's like you look at that gap and you just think, was Ricciardo? I mean, there was times when Ricciardo was just outwardly just downright bad, like 18th, just dog shit bad. But like also, now you think, was he that bad? I listened to a Red Flags podcast on the way back on the train with Dax Shepard, and he was talking about like that, kind of like how people know Lando's like, yeah, he's one of the quickest drivers. They don't know he's like maybe top 2 fastest on the grid. Like he outdrives that car so much. I think most people just say the quickest drivers on the grid are Hamilton and Verstappen, or they'd say like, ignoring those 2, the quickest drivers on the grid are Russell and Leclerc. And like this is the thing, like people acknowledge he's quick, but they'd probably say Leclerc's quicker, they'd probably say Russell's quicker, they'd probably say Verstappen and Hamilton's quicker. Some people would probably say Perez is quicker, in which case is you're saying he's quick, but you're not actually even putting him in the top 5, which obviously being the top 5 out of everyone in the world is great, but in the top 5 out of 20 drivers is like, you're not in the top 20%, 25%. Poor from me. So it's like, okay, well, you're basically saying he's just slightly better than mid then. Whereas I think, you know, what he's been doing on that McLaren, no teammate can touch him. He's had race winners in there. He's got new hot shots in there now next to him. He's had Carlos Sainz in there, and yeah, he's not been against. It's rare though when you're ever really gonna have a teammate who's Verstappen or Leclerc or like thing. And unless they come to McLaren, it's unlikely. I don't know if he would leave. I mean, if the car just kept getting shit and shit, you could maybe see him jump in a Red Bull car. You know, Horner gets horny over Lando, but I don't know. Just been checking out Formula One and weeping my eyes over the fact that Mason Mount's going to United, and kind of low-key that Loftus-Cheek's going to AC Milan. Even though I said I accept it, still, Jesus Christ, the apology was about 10 pages long. Not apology. The goodbye message was like 10 pages long, like a 3-minute fucking compilation clip. Chelsea put out one. Lyrics from Ballack. Also signed Nicholas Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. So a little catchy little song there to lift the spirits. A lot of stuff going on today. Casado, whichever one you want to say. Could sign him soon. I don't know, man. The transfer window can bring a lot of highs and lows, but ultimately I think you leave it with positives because it's at least unknowns, and you're going to a new season with unknowns. The possibilities that anything can happen, anything can be true, and that is nice to have. But I said it'd be sports heavy. I don't say I didn't warn you. Don't you say I didn't warn you now. Slow news day. Because what else is there? I mean, Mr. Beast got fucking jacked. He's yoked now, as they say, across the pond. Or he's well on his way, and he's showing the world. You know, so what am I meant to do with that information? There's only so much I can do. But yeah, I think it's 189. See you in 190.
Here with the kids, and they had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'd ever meet. He was like a hero.